Hello and welcome! My name is Amber Jessie, and today I will be showing you the tools and resources I use to maximize my farm in Palia. These can be used if you're wanting to grow for certain recipes, make money, or both. But in saying this, I'm not an expert on these resources, and the example I'm showing you is just what works for my needs. These are the wiki pages I use to check garden buffs from planting certain crops, see how much I earn from processing items through my regular or glowworm farms, and find out how much focus I get from eating preserves. Now you can pause here to read what crafters you'll need and how to obtain them. Now that you have your resources and tools, we'll be moving over to Palia Garden Layout Generator. In the Layout Generator, this is where we'll be playing around a little bit to get a layout that works for us. For example, I knew that I wanted an apple tree for both making lures and also jam to put into my worm farm. I also wanted pumpkins to preserve and use that as focus food. From looking at the garden buffs and the profit from processing preserves through my worm farm, I also added bok choy, cabbage, potato, and tomato. My priorities with my farm were profit and water retain. I personally selected Harvest Boost as my fertilizer. Sometimes the layout generator will not give you at least one of the seeds you want to plant, so you may have to add or remove some seeds until you're happy with the outcome. I ended up also adding beans for preserving and putting through my worm farms, and spicy peppers, even though it didn't add to my layout. You also have the option to edit in Garden Planner if you want to customize even more. Once you're happy with your garden layout, click Edit in Garden Planner. Here you'll be able to see the estimated total you'll make from your farm and the stats of your layout. Over the right hand side, you'll see Harvest and Process settings. In these settings, you can set your gardening level, if you'll be using star seeds, and if you want to factor in replanting. From here, click on the Crops tab and select how you want to process each of your crops. So for me, I'll be clicking Preserves for all. Please note that this doesn't include potential sales from processing through your worm farms and selling the fertilizer and worms, so I just use this total number as an estimate. Now you can export your layout and save it for reference when planting. Once you have your farm prepped, pull up your layout as a reference and start planting based on that layout. Even though my layout doesn't say to fertilize all of my seeds, I do so just to make my life a little bit easier. You can also stack your fertilizer and it will be used as required. Once your crops have grown, if you decided to do so, you can then process your crops into preserves and then put them into your worm farms. From the worm farms, this is where I grab my fertilizer and store that for later, and then also sell that fertilizer and worms for profit. Thank you so much for watching this video. If it helped you out, please don't forget to subscribe and check out my other Palia videos.